Good evening from New York. I'm Chris Hayes. You know, there's a meme I see on the internet all the time. You might have seen it too. It is a post by the satirical social media outfit, cousin of The Onion, called Clickhole. And it's a photo of this very serious-looking man with the headline, "Heartbreaking. The worst person you know just made a great point." On social media, this can indeed be heartbreaking. It can be heartbreaking in real life. And that post has taken on a life of its own over the last few years. So every time someone that folks really don't agree with suddenly shows up on their side of the issue, well, this poor guy gets his photo posted. A few years back, reporters actually tracked down the man pictured in that stock photo that had become a meme. Turns out he's a Spanish marketing specialist who has eventually made peace with becoming an online icon. And 7 years after its first appearance, man, that guy's face is getting a real workout, as plenty of the worst people you know have been making some very good points about Trump, say, ordering the bombing of Iran. From Matt Gaetz to Marjorie Taylor Greene to Tucker Carlson taking Ted Cruz out to the woodshed.
President Trump knows that the Bush-era doctrine of regime change wars in the Middle East is foolish.
The American people have been brainwashed into believing that America has to engage in these foreign wars in order for us to survive.
You don't know the population of the country you seek to topple?
How many people live in Iran?
92 million.
Okay.
You don't know anything about Iran. So
okay, I am not the Tucker Carlson expert on Iran.
You're a senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government.
This week, we've got a new contender. The world's richest man and Trump's former political benefactor, Elon Musk, railing against Trump's so-called big, beautiful bill, a bill that is almost suicidally self-destructive to America's future. A bill that is right now, as I speak to you, on the verge of becoming law after passing the Senate today on a 50-50 tie that was broken by Vice President J.D. Vance. On and off over the past month, Musk has blasted the bill as fiscally irresponsible, full of insane pork that is damaging to America's future. Last weekend, as the Senate hurriedly marked up their version of the bill, including a provision that kills subsidies for solar and wind energy while boosting coal and oil, Musk posted to social media, "The latest Senate draft bill will destroy millions of jobs in America and cause immense strategic harm to our country. Utterly insane and destructive, it gives handouts to industries of the past while severely damaging industries of the future." And cue our bald Spanish friend, he's not wrong. Heartbreaking indeed. Musk even threatened to form a new political party and to unseat Republicans who vote for the bill against their own stated principles. Quote, "Every member of Congress who campaigned on reducing government spending and then immediately voted for the biggest debt increase in history should hang their head in shame, and they will lose their primary next year if it is the last thing I do on this earth." Now, we should be clear here. Musk is also mad because the bill does away with a big subsidy on electric car purchases, which, by the way, is good policy, but also his car company Tesla relies on. It's not like he's suddenly a good guy here. Remember, he was the Doge founder. He was running around cutting things like biomedical research, cancer research, and USAID, leading to deaths almost too many to count. That said, again, cue our meme dude, what he's saying about the irresponsibility of the Trump bill, especially about its totally backwards, self-defeating energy agenda, is completely correct. The worst person you know just made a great point. And Trump, for his part, is not happy with Musk's criticisms.
I don't know. I think we'll have to take a look. We might have to put Doge on Elon. You know what Doge is? Doge is the monster that might have to go back and eat Elon. Wouldn't that be terrible? He's not going to get his mandate, and he better be careful because he might not get anything else. You know what that means, right?
Also, just to complete the full circle here, Trump is right that Doge is a monster, also right that Musk relies on a lot of federal dollars, something that all of us were pointing out for months as Donald Trump was touting what a great job Elon was doing. I mean, here's the thing. The way I understand it is the Trump administration and the Trump presidency is so rife with so many bad ideas in so many directions that every day they're always turning some of the world's worst people into sensible-sounding critics by the sheer madness of their undertakings. This big, ugly bill is no exception. I mean, it really is just astoundingly terrible in every direction, gobsmacking. It doesn't just take the country backwards in terms of energy policy, although that might be the most crucial civilizational challenge we face. It enshrines trillions of massive tax cuts that primarily benefit rich people and corporations, also benefit people who inherit estates over $50 million, very important constituency. And that is financed only in part by devastating cuts to health care and food assistance for poor and working class Americans. Depending on the estimate you listen to and the iteration of the bill that you're looking at, we'll see in the final analysis, something between 12 or 17 million could lose health care, according to the Congressional Budget Office. Hospitals will be defunded. And even with those cuts, the bill adds more than $3 trillion to the deficit over the next decade, also according to CBO. The other thing you should know about this bill is that no one is buying it. This isn't one of those situations where they've pulled off some massive, successful hoodwinking. It is wildly unpopular. And then when people are polled on its actual substantive provisions, right, like here's what the bill does, the giveaways to billionaires, the hits to programs for the poor, the sick and the elderly, it polls even worse. Right now, this truly toxic agenda, both in the politics and the merits, is being held together through the sheer force of an institutional Republican Party devoted to the plutocrats and Trump's ability to bully party members into submission. If you've been following the fight over the bill, you will find oddly sensible statements from far-right Republicans over the bill's fiscal irresponsibility, which it is. It will blow up the deficit, and that might actually have some really negative consequences given where we are with interest rates. You'll see people blasting it from the center over its draconian cuts to services. I mean, here's the thing. The bill is so bad that even the person who provided the crucial vote today, like the one singular vote that made this thing pass out of the Senate, can't defend it. She knows it's bad. Here's Alaska Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski.
Do I like this bill? No, because I tried to take care of Alaska's interests. But I know that in many parts of the country, there are Americans that are not going to be advantaged by this bill. I don't like that.
I mean, this is a sitting senator defending the bill by saying, do I like this bill? ? No. Today, Murkowski even told reporters off camera she doesn't actually want the version of the bill that she voted for to become law and hopes the House undoes some of the damage in the bill that she and her fellow senators did. Democrats, understandably, pounced on that statement.
Listen to this quote from Senator Murkowski, who just caved and voted for this bill. And you got to love this. She said, quote, "My hope is that the House is going to look at this and recognize that we're not there yet," end quote. I mean, my question to her is, if you really believe that, then why the hell did you vote for this bill?
Republicans are still voting for this toxic agenda, this toxic MAGA Republican agenda, even when they know and will articulate openly it's bad for Americans. Josh Hawley wrote an op-ed that said it's bad to cut Medicaid, and then when he voted for the bill was like, we got to have a serious conversation about how bad it is to cut Medicaid. The only silver lining, and it's a real one, is that voters do seem to be paying attention. They are mad, and they are poised to force Republicans to answer for this vote, their votes on this one.